Hey everybody, it's Norris with the Norris Group. It is Friday, March 6th, and would you refinance all your mortgages at 2% interest rates? That and much more as we cover the biggest headlines in real estate. Up on the radio show this week, we have a little bit of a split show. John Stevenson finishes out his interview with Bruce. John Stevenson is sort of like a mentor and a friend of Bruce, and we talk about his goals and how he got started in real estate. And then Bruce and I end up talking about the mentorship conversation. He gets asked a lot to be a mentor and why we don't do things like coaching programs, and if you want to get a mentor and what gets you motivated, and the biggest problem he sees with people getting motivated in the business. Interesting conversation. Don't miss that on the radio show and podcast. Let's get to those headlines. Home prices increased 4% year over year, according to CoreLogic. The Mortgage Bankers Association reported mortgage applications increased 15.1% from last week, and considering the low rates, well, hello, no surprise there. House flipping hits an 8-year high, having gone up 2% year over year to 245,864, the highest point since 2006. Interestingly, the same couldn't be said about house flipping profits, which are at an 8-year low. So I'm going to take a stop here real quick. I have an email out to Adam Data. This is the source of this story. I have a problem with this data moving forward because of iBuyers. iBuyers data is going to get caught up in the algorithms and how they're processing this. I don't know if they look back a year or 6 months or a year. I don't know the formula because CoreLogic and Adam Data have their own way that they measure this. But just know that some investors are wholesaling to iBuyers, and iBuyers are selling within a short time frame. So the same transaction can show up in their data twice. And as we all know, iBuyers' main goal isn't to make money, and we already know they're not. So just be careful with this data. It is what it is, but there you go. Mortgage rates are at a record low, with 30-year rates now at 3.29% and 15-year rates at 2.79%. FHA, yes, is under the 3% mark. Co-living is becoming the new kind of living for adults, that it is feeling more and more like college dorm life for adults. Communal living brings different people together in a shared space where they get their own individual sleeping quarters while the kitchens and work areas are communal. This type of living has increased drastically in the last few years during the rising rents. So as more people can't afford their own place, they're looking at these things. And you know what, honestly, I don't think it's just an affordability thing. I just think people like the social aspect of it, and that's what I'm going to do when I get older. I need some people to hang around with. Companies like WeWork and WeLive are jumping on the bandwagon and looking in similar building situations to grow this kind of business. Others are expanding on the idea of co-living by having people share the same bedroom, but they each get their own sleeping pod. So we'll see how this progresses. There are a lot of different companies. Last year, we had someone from coliving.co. There's some companies doing some really beautiful spaces, and then you go to Apartment Owners Association and you have people doing co-living for specific sectors, like the creatives in LA, where you've got a green screen wall, so people living there can just turn on their camera and shoot for their YouTube channel. I think this co-living is not going away, and I think many generations are going to be taking advantage of this over the next decade. Looks like the spread of the coronavirus is affecting the financial markets. We know the stock market has been all over the place this week, with over 100 confirmed cases in the United States. How could this impact real estate? Well, so far, it has prompted a mortgage rate drop. Investors are pulling their money out of the stocks and putting it into steadier U.S. Treasury bonds. And when bonds perform strongly, mortgage rates tend to dip, according to a Realtor report. NAR chief economist Lawrence Yun says mortgage rates likely will fall to an all-time low, and buyers will get to lock in even with growing economic concerns into these really great low interest rates. A temporary travel ban has been put in place in order to prevent the spread of the virus, and that will likely lead to a big dip in purchases from foreign buyers. But, as people are able to lock in 30-year rates at a below 3% rate possibly, what will that do? Will they pull out money when they do it? Regardless, you're talking about an entire generation. The stories online are saying this is a 50-year low. No, these are lifetime lows, like never been seen before. So it'll be really interesting to watch what consumers do. If the coronavirus gets them nervous and they're not wanting to pull out money, or if they do, I can't wait to see. NAR's 2020 Home Buyer and Seller Generational Trends Report shows a number of the home buying characteristics of younger millennials are replicating the buying desires of those in the silent generation. So the silent generation are those Americans that are between 74 and 94. The reports researched each generation to examine the differences in recent home buyers and home sellers. One characteristic that was similar was a strong desire to be near family and friends, and in some cases, they are motivated to sell for this reason. Another similarity includes wanting to buy a home based on the amenities offered, which is actually slightly newer for the younger homebuyer trends. And then lastly, both generations were more likely to ask for advice from a trusted friend or relative. What was interesting in the car report that came out this year is that sometimes marketing, the ability for realtors to market isn't even showing up. It's all about the trust and the relationship. Very relationship-driven real estate market. I don't think that's going to change, and I think this is going to continue. The 10-year Treasury Note fell to a record low this week. The yield on a 10-year benchmark Treasury Note is a key barometer for mortgage rates and student loans. Well, flashback to February of 2017 when Bruce Norris, our very own, released his market timing report called 2% mortgage rates, 40 trillion in debt, and other surprise endings. So, of course, he's having his best week ever because a lot of people just thought he was playing bonkers. Well, it happened. We dipped below the 3% interest rate mark for mortgages this week, so he was pretty excited, so that's awesome. The drop in rates came after the Federal Reserve, of course, did an emergency rate cut in the wake of the coronavirus and the effect it could possibly have on the economy. And Mark Hamrick, Bankrate.com senior economic analyst, says you could be freeing up some money in your monthly budget and the money can be put to use. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to watch, and I'm curious to know, are you going to refinance all your properties in the 6 months ahead if you can get a non-owner occupant rate that's closer to 4 or maybe even in the upper 3s? I would love to hear what you have to say. If you're on YouTube, please leave your comments below the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell if you'd like to receive notifications when we have new videos come online. If you're on Facebook or any other social media platform, please like and make sure to like the Norris Group page so you can find our content online whenever we produce it. Leave your comments below the video, give us some love, and don't forget to share. If we missed a story, also feel free to leave a link in the description below. We would love to catch you out and about. March 11th, we'll be doing the 6 things to succeed in 2020, and that's going to be up in Sacramento at NorCal REIA. March 19th, we got the Florida Buying Bootcamp. We only have a few seats left. If you are interested in investing out of state, doing new construction and diversifying and upgrading while you're doing it, we would love to help you out. Our next event where we're going to do this isn't until August. You can start the process and not go to the live event. We can help at any time, but we need time to help you safely with 1031 exchanges. So please don't sell your California properties and tell me the day that it sells, starting day 1 of your exchange. I can't help you. So please don't do that, but we would love to help you if you're looking to diversify out of California. April 1st, 6 things to succeed in 2020 with the Inland Valley Association of Realtors. And the 9th, I'll be doing innovative real estate marketing with Tigar. You can check out all of our events coming up on our calendar on the norrisgroup.com. For hard money, including fix and flip, buy and hold, new construction, and accessory dwelling unit loans in California and Florida, check out our hard money tab. And for passive investing with trust deeds, notes, and mortgages, hit that invest tab. With that, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week.